Welcome to Travel, Eat, and Learn. I'm Susan Sam Shockley.
And I'm Patrick Barney. This is our 5th episode on the Vegas Video Network.
Whoa! Whoa. And they said it wouldn't last.
And why do we call it Travel, Eat, and Learn? Because the world is a book, and those who do not travel only read one page.
And the best way to experience a city, state, or country is to eat in that city, state, or country and meet the local people.
And have fun while you're learning the customs, the cuisine, and the people that you encounter in the country, city, or world that you go to.
Thanks for watching us at Travel, Eat, and Learn. This episode is being brought to you by For More Travel,
where you dream it and they make it happen. I think it's time now for travel news that you can use. Have you got a yen to go to Japan? Well, wait till December. Why? Because in December they have the Sake Olympics. Almost every town in Japan during December is going to have their special sake. And we love it hot, we love it cold, we love it with food or whatever it is. So wait till December to get your sake fix in Japan.
And we're doing another episode on Cuba. No, we're not. We're just talking about JetBlue's introduction to flying to Cuba. We paid $600 on a charter to go to Cuba. But if you're in Florida on the 28th, 29th, or 30th of November, you're going to get a $54 one-way ticket. And if you're going to go from New York, you're going to get a $99 one-way ticket. I'm so excited. Let's go.
Well, you know, it's another example of how Cuba is getting more and more accessible. And I'm sure you're all aware of by now that the president also is allowing you to bring back as many Cuban cigars as you want and as much rum. When we were there, we could only bring back like 5 cigars and 1 bottle of rum.
Oh my God.
So your opportunity is to go get even more. But remember, as we told you here first on our show, if you're going to buy rum, okay, you want to buy the Santiago de Cuba rum, okay? Not Havana Club. Santiago de Cuba, the best. Notice it's half empty here. All right? It is great. That is the rum to get. And the cigars, be prepared to buy them in a 5-pack because that's what they usually do. 5-pack cigar. And it's about $30 for a decent cigar in Cuba.
Did you bring any cigars back?
Yes. Remember, I crushed 2 and smoked 3. Okay.
Okay.
Also, an exciting thing that's happening is for the first time, Bermuda is going to host the America's Cup, that big sailboating race that we all love and like. It's going to be in May of 17, May 20th to be exact. If you haven't been to Bermuda, Sam and I have both been there. It's a beautiful little island. British overtones completely. Obviously, the British had it from their time. So they're going to host the America's Cup, and that's going to be a great sailing event. So get your plans made for May of 17.
Okay, Patrick encouraged me to have a Halloween theme here. Ooh. Anyway, I'm going to tell you about some of the most haunted hotels. See if you can guess this one. Here's Johnny.
Oh my God.
Okay, the Stanley Park Hotel in Estes Park, Colorado, is the inspiration for Stephen King's wonderful thriller,
The Shining.
The Shining. Anyway, Battery Carriage House Hotel in Charleston, South Carolina. This hotel has 3 ghosts that live there, and people see them all the time. Hawthorne, which is in Salem, This is where the witch trials were done, and the witches are haunting this hotel. I don't know if I'd want to go there. I mean, I imagine that the entire city is being haunted. Now, the Hollywood Roosevelt Hotel, you want to go there. Marilyn Monroe is haunting that hotel. Now, I think she should be at the Del Coronado myself, but it's okay.
She had more fun at the Hollywood Hotel.
Now, if we're talking about a sexy woman, Mrs. Adams, the president's wife, she's haunting the Hay Adams Hotel in Washington, D.C. We've been there on many an evening drinking cocktails at their bar.
Yes, and you see her after 10 o'clock at night. I mean, it's okay. But we cannot talk about haunted places without talking about our personal experience. My sister owns a wine and cheese shop in a little town called Occoquan, Virginia. It only has 1,500 people, and it has more ghosts than per capita than any other city. This is her little shop, and we have our own ghost, okay? In the 1800s, a young girl who lived there was having an affair with the rich guy up the hill, and he dropped her, and she hung herself upstairs.
Oh.
Now, my sister has the upstairs room for her wine room because even though it's on the second floor, it's the coldest room in the house because that's where she hung herself. And we found out when we moved in there, when the lights broke and we couldn't leave them on all night, every morning we would come in and the wine would be all over the floor. She does not like the dark. Once we got the lights back on, she never did that again. So Molly had a rough time. I think she hung herself at age like 18 or 19. I
was
know.
not allowed to interrupt, so I can't interrupt. But now that he's done, I can tell you all about the house. It dates back to 1750, and George Washington has been in the house. Right there at that fireplace, he dripped.
He dripped.
He dripped. You see, he went across the
river.
Occoquan River, and his horse and carriage fell into the river, and so did he. And this was the ferryman's house. So he came in to stand by the fire and drip.
Yeah, and it's the original fireplace, and I would drop water there on the weekends just so people would think that George was there overnight, you know.
But we know that the ghost's name was Ollie, O-L-L-Y, so we call her Molly because we're Irish.
Yeah.
When we're not Italian.
So there are plenty of haunted places to go. Even the bathroom of our house is not all that great. Okay. Okay, Sam, I think it's time for a drink, huh?
Oh, yeah, all right.
Tonight's special bartender is at the Italian American Club. If you remember last week, we said we were going to happy hour hunt at the Italian American Club, and he did us a nice Limoncello champagne drink. So let's take a look at that. It's a little dark, but then again, nobody's ugly in the dark.
Noise. I'm here at the Italian American Club making a Limoncello champagne. The Limoncello is an Italian. And then I have a very dry Italian Prosecco. Twist on top for flavor. And there you have it.
You know, the Italian American Club, first of all, it's called the Italian American Social Club, and you do not have to be a member to go there. It's open Tuesdays through Saturdays, and dinner in the bar, and they always have a lounge with singing, is open to everybody. You don't have to be a member. But if you're from back east, if you're used to a Chicago or a New York bar, dark wood, dark plain, you're going to love it here. I love to go back there. I love to sit at the bar. And we, of course, I had my Manhattans and my meatballs there for happy hour.
I had their Caesar salad, which comes in a bowl, a cheese bowl of Parmesan cheese. It is to die for. It's dinner. But 3 years ago, before we lived here, we went there, and the food was terrible, terrible. I was so ashamed to be Italian. Anyway, since then, they've got a new chef, and the food is exquisite. You've got to go there, and they have this society socialite dance on the first and third Thursday of the month, and it's coming up. And you can go, you can eat, you can drink, and you can dance. And there's not many people on the dance floor, and there's entertainment, and it's just such fun. It's a throwback to a time gone by, about the 40s.
And in case you're wondering where it is, it's on East Sahara, just a little bit east of Eastern Avenue. It's a great place, a fun place, especially for the people who remember the Depression.
And you can spend about 20 minutes just looking at the star wall and see all the pictures of all the stars that have been there and all their signatures. It's a lot of fun.
All right, I think we're going to move on to My Vegas Beyond the Strip. Well, Sam, of course, the first one. Now, we got two stories tonight in this category. The first one tonight, of course, is the most important one. It is a summary of my 75th birthday party. Now, I know you probably thought I was only 40, maybe 40, maybe 45. But let me tell you, there is skin in there that is definitely 75 years old. Okay?
Oh my God! Don't tell people.
That's why I don't go shirtless anymore. Okay, not even on Dances with the Stars. But we held it at Annie's Gourmet Italian Restaurant in Henderson, which is one of our favorite Italian restaurants. And Annie set up a table. We had a lot of people. We had at least 20, 25 people.
We had 4 children, adult children. We had 5 grandchildren. We had friends and neighbors. And we had Scott.
Yeah. Yeah, we had Scott because, you know, we had 2 extra chairs. I didn't want it to look empty. Didn't want it to look empty. Okay. So, but Annie set it up beautiful, and she, of course, had
And it's a very New York place. It's a very New York place, and Patrick is from New York, and it felt so warm and cozy and comfy.
Right. Her whole decor is shots from the 40s. Yeah. Okay. Now, this is what the table looked like once the guests started to arrive. Now, this is the old side of the table. The grandchildren were on the other side of the table. Okay. Those are the people who were born way before my children were born. Okay. But it was such a wonderful, wonderful event. And Sam got me a Frank Sinatra singer. There he is. Nick, and I cannot, and of course, he sang to her through most of the night. But he was absolutely wonderful. And I tell you, I tried to video, well, no, I gave my camera to my son, and he was enjoying the evening. I mean, he even took 3 videos upside down. I mean, so, and he blamed it on my phone. He said, your phone, I don't know which is up and down. I said, you don't know what's up and down tonight at all. Okay, now this is my son who's old enough to drink. Okay, but then, unbeknownst to any of us, up popped Dean Martin to sing along with him. So we had
Out of
2.
his grave?
Yes, there it was, right there. But Dean, the guy who plays Dean, I hate, I don't remember his name.
Well, we were drinking a lot.
He had the evening off, and he came out there and just dropped in, and he and Frank sang to 10:30 at night.
For 2.5 hours straight. No breaks.
No breaks at all. Okay, so I mean, it was a wonderful party, and of course, I had a
talk
birthday
about
cake.
This must be
See,
son.
my son took. I think my son took this picture. Okay, I'm not too sure, but that was the birthday cake, and Annie was very generous. Instead of putting 75 candles on it, she put a 7 and a 5.
And a bunch of cannolis on it.
And a bunch of cannolis, and Frank sang happy birthday to me, which is nice, and I blew out the 2 candles. It was a delightful night.
And there's Pearl Mesta of Henderson.
Yes, that's right.
If you don't know who that is, Pearl Mesta used to be the entertainment queen of Washington, D.C., and I pride myself on having a good party.
Okay, those who don't know who she is probably
I just told them.
Okay, all right. Well, the fact of the matter is, I want to give Annie a big plug here because she not only has a great restaurant there, but if you are having a big party like that, she can rearrange the room. She can put out a great
and she can
event.
Do Italian drinks like we showed you last week on our what do you call that?
Our show.
Our show. No, I mean Ice Cube Jazz.
Right.
Anyway, it was a wonderful party. We had
What's that drink called?
Italian milkshake.
Italian milkshake. All the ladies love it.
Love it, yeah. And then everybody got one to start. But it's so easy to drink. I made sure I wasn't paying for the second or third. Okay. But anyway, I just want to thank everybody at Annie's Gourmet in Henderson. It was a great night, and I thank everybody who came to my birthday party. Some came as far away as the west side of town.
No, they came from Phoenix. They came from Colorado. They came from L.A. Anyway, then as soon as those people left and went home, my cousins from New York City came to town, and I took them to Casa de Shenandoah, Wayne Newton's home. 52 acres of home. And we had such a short time together that I chose to only take them through the mansion. But let me tell you a little bit about this home. This home has been built on pride and gratitude. You first go to the pavilion and you see a film that tells you about his life. This impressed them so much, they thought they were, okay, we'll just waste an hour at this place. But they really got the heartfelt feeling that Wayne Newton wants to project at his beautiful home with his Arabian horses. And I do encourage you to go to his website because he's got the house, the horses, the museum. They've got many tours. And you just pick one where you have the time. But the full enchilada is like 4 hours long, and Steve does that one. And Steve is a hoot. Anyway, first you see the movie, then you board a bus and you go into the gates, and the first thing you see is his airplane, which he had disassembled and put back together on the property. You get to go into it. I can't tell you too much because we don't have time, but then you walk out into the museum and you see all of the things he's done for the USO and the war and the astronauts. He actually has a coin where his favorite Arabian horse, Aramis, went to space and came back, and it's there.
Just the coin, not the horse.
Just the coin, not the horse.
Right.
Anyway, he's got letters from presidents, and he's got a cup from a prisoner of war. He's got the divan from Gone with the Wind. He's got the canoe from On Golden Pond. And then he has like 30 Rolls Royces and
Mercedes.
Bentleys.
Bentleys, yeah.
And he has drip pans under each of them because if you look behind him are garage doors. He actually takes them out and drives them. They're working cars. Then you go into his museum where he's got the Stradivarius from Jack Benny, and he's got letters from Elvis and Dancing with the Stars stuff. And I mean, it's amazing. And then you get back into the van and you go out to the swimming pool for the horses. As you pass the barn with all the Arabians, then the swimming pool, they go around 3 times and they're buoyed by their weight because it's 13 feet deep. It's the equivalent of a 5-mile run. Then you see the wonderful arena. They show you some of the horses doing things. And then you go on to his childhood home. Then you go on to the zoo and you see a capuchin monkey and you see, oh, it's just so fascinating. They've got wallabies.
Is that the one that poops out the coffee beans?
You are so funny.
No, I mean, what's it called? Isn't that?
I think you're right.
I think you're right. I think it is. So, you know, don't order the coffee there.
No.
Okay?
They don't have coffee there. But then then you go into the mansion, and the mansion is amazing. It's built like a Southern home because he was born in Virginia, and he's got papal robes. He's got pictures of stars and their wedding, and he's got Reagan. He's got a pool table that is crystal, and it was sitting outside for 100 years when he bought it. And oh, there's Charlie. Charlie, the what do you call those penguins? Oh, and then he has his show Up Close and Personal, and he takes you on a journey through his life, but he asks questions while you're in line, so the whole show is built around you. And getting back to the house, they take you and show you this dining room table, and every piece is signed in 24 karat gold, and he's got a Renoir, and he's got a Chagall, and it's the most amazing house. Then because she knew I had bad knees, I got to take the elevator upstairs. And I mean, I could have stolen anything while I was meeting
Sure.
them.
I wanted you to bring home that crystal pool table, but you didn't bring it.
Well, I couldn't put it in my pocket, but nonetheless, it's a wonderful home. I encourage you to go see it because you will get a feeling of pride and gratitude that you don't feel everywhere else. And my relatives came out of that place and said, boy, I have a whole new perspective on Wayne Newton. And please go.
Can I say a few words?
No,
just for the men out there. I've been there a couple times. Thank God I didn't have to go with her relatives. It was very nice. But I mean, they're nice people. But I mean, I had seen enough. From a man's point of view, the museum, the plane and the museum, I could spend the whole time there, and I would prefer to stay there and thoroughly go through all that, while the wives, or my wife, is going through the mansion, you know. And it's really quite a property. There's no doubt about it. It's probably one of the best, if not the best, events or places to visit outside of the Strip. I mean,
so relatives, you come along because I love to go. I've been there 5 times.
And the male relatives, I promise I'll take you and we'll spend the whole time in the museum.
They have a museum tour.
Yep,
so.
They have a museum tour. It's well worth it. So 2 for the price of 1 today. 2 beyond the Strip ones. My birthday party, too bad you missed it.
So Sam Walks on Water, but you're going to talk about...
That's right. Next we're going to do Sam Walks on Water. Now I'm hijacking this for a very simple reason. I'm going to tell you about Disney Cruise Line's special Marvel Days at Sea. This is a special sailings that they're going to have next year. I think they're having them, let me see, in November of next year, October, November. We give you plenty of warning here. And it's all the Marvel heroes. Captain America is welcoming you to Disney Cruise Lines. And all the characters are going to be there. They're going to have the Avengers, Spider-Man, Thor for the women, of course, and of course the Guardians of the Galaxies, which were funny. But the fact of the matter is, these particular cruises they're all out of New York. Some go to Bermuda, some go to up New England way to Canada, but they do this day with all these characters. And if you've ever been on a Disney cruise now, and you watch out for the grandparents, because they knock you out of the way getting pictures taken with their grandchildren and these ones. And they're going to have special events, special dancing, special things, all with the superheroes. I am a Marvel superhero. And it started
you're my hero.
Oh, it started with my love. What was her name? Linda Carter, the World War II one. Loved it. No, she wasn't Wonder Woman. That's a DC comic. Get behind me.
Linda Carter was Wonder Woman.
Well, then I got the name wrong. No, I'm not talking about the actress. I'm talking about the character in it. Her last name was Carter. Okay. I don't know what her first name is.
Oh, I see. I'm sorry. I don't keep up on this.
Disney's Cruise Lines, The Heroes, the Marvels at Sea is what it's called, October, November of next year. It's going to be a sellout, people. If you got family and kids and you want to do that, plan for it now. Okay, Sam. Oh, it's time for Travel Rant.
Okay.
Pardon me.
What are you up to? What are you doing?
You know the old joke they said, why are you hitting your head? Because it feels good when I stop. I am so tired of political commercials.
Oh.
Not only do we have to watch them, but because it's a political season, they're on constantly, and they have upped the ante of advertising on TV and on the net. And so you don't get any fun travel ads anymore because the ridiculous parties, whether it's Democrats or Republicans, are paying top dollar to fill those slots with garbage. And I am tired of emptying my mailbox. I don't have any more brochures for my cruise lines. I have brochures for my cruisers to Washington, D.C. So anyway, that's my rant for today. Sam, it's time to close. We're getting to the end here. How about where the hell is it?
Okay.
Now, last time we asked what city was called the Crescent City and why. And we want to congratulate Esther Snow. Snow, is it? Yeah, it's Snow. Of Arizona. Arizona, okay? And it is New Orleans, and it's called that because the Mississippi River crests around the city. Okay, we've got our next question coming up is, which are the four presidents on Mount Rushmore? And who was the fourth one that Congress wanted to add, but they wouldn't fund the money for it?
The fifth one.
The fifth one. Yeah, fifth one.
There are four.
There are four. I'm sorry, the fifth one. I'm sorry. And our next show is November the 9th.
Yes, it is.
At 4 o'clock, right?
Yes. I'm Sam Shockley, and I thank you for watching our show.
And I'm Patrick Barney, and we'll see you next time, and I hope you enjoyed my birthday party.